Welcome to the Smorgasbord Podcast, where we talk about a variety of different topics, uncensored, unedited. Today, there's no guest; it's just me. I don't know. I've been school has just been canceled for the rest of the year for me, so the first of my freshman year is done. So, and next week is spring break, so I'm probably gonna be pulling these out really quickly. Today's topic, I guess, is just you know, due to this whole coronavirus, we've been feeling a bit down, and it's a whole mental health thing, of course. But I want to talk about two types. We're talk about depression mainly, and there's two types of depressed people. I believe I've identified me 15 years old. I have identified two types of depressed people. Two. You have the generic type who sits there. It's just you can identify them easily. You can see the ones who are like the ones who are don't how you can see about the body language. You can tell even those that are hard to identify. They're like moping around, down on life. You have the extremely ones, and those are the main ones that people can see, and the stereotype of what they see, and they are able to identify that. But and to those people, if you do that, talk to me because I can help you out because I'm not a therapist by any means, but I'm basically a therapist and I do this shit for free. So just a hunch. But no, but in all seriousness, the second type of depressed people are what I call the comedic mind. Now, the comedic mind are the people that you'll never take a guess until they kill themselves. The people like Robin Williams is the most notable one, the guy who really played Genie, Happy Feet, and every single comedian, funny as hell. Then ended up killing himself. No one ever, and no one saw it coming. And that is one I like to really talk about because people don't know how to identify that, and they'll never know. They'll never know. And there are people, the people like me, people like my friends, people like Robin Williams, people like a lot of people, and people will have no clue what they are. And it's interesting because the mindset is like the world can make things so depressing. And yeah, it's easier to just be the typical depressed person and just be swallowing your own sadness. And you can distract yourself in the day, then cry yourself to sleep during the night. Or you could be the comedic mind. And basically what you do is that you understand how awful it feels for yourself. How awful it feels to truly feel emptiness. For me, not sadness, because just loneliness and emptiness primarily. And if you've identified that so much that you took it upon yourself to, okay, I'm gonna spin this to be happy, and I'm gonna make sure that all the people I care about, and even random strangers, that I know how bad this pain is, how it truly feels, that I'm just gonna make sure that as little people as can, even just for a little moment, that they can be truly happy. And that's a big piece that nobody realizes. Like all those people at the school, I'm one of the big ones. Personally, that's just what I do. I help a lot of people, no matter how they treat me. Friends of mine have come and gone. They've betrayed me. They've failed me. Been failed by family. Been failed by a lot of people. But I don't see it like that's the end. And it definitely makes you crazy. This type of depression, the comedic mind makes you crazy because you can literally sit up at night laughing and talking to yourself, and until while you're contemplating to jump out a window or some shit. Like I don't know, just throwing that out there. 1 second, let me turn on the light. But and that's the big one that you'll see. People who care about you the most, and people who are like overly happy that don't take medicine, because when you take antidepressants, all that stuff, it balances out the chemical balance, and there's science to this shit or something. And it's more of there's a chemical imbalance or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I call it straight up what it is. You encounter some shit and you feel fucked up. And that's just kind of like, excuse my language for anybody out there, if my mom if he ever sees this, but yeah, that's just point blank. It's what it is, and it's scary because it can literally take you anywhere. Because people like that are skipping a hop away from doing something crazy from other people or to themselves, or they end up never doing it. They just end up keeping it bottled in, which is what I've learned to do. Of course, even though I don't see myself doing something crazy, I don't see I don't see myself like killing myself anytime in my life. Certainly not anytime soon, but I do think about it a lot. It is a very normal thought for me. Like I definitely every night before bed, I've had a good consideration about it. And personally, I believe it's a normal thought because I feel like at some point in time, everybody's thought about offing themselves, even if it's not about depression. You just feel like lazy, all you have to do mow the lawn. If you just see like a car and be like, oh, what if I just dove headfirst in this front of this car? I wouldn't have to mow the lawn. I wouldn't have to do my chores. I wouldn't have to do my homework. You just jump in the front of the car, and it's all jokes to the end, but and a lot of people get attention. All the people get attention. Although you have to look, it has to be visible, and that's what's so scary is that people can only if you're not on the outside visibly in agony, and only people like you can truly see what's going on with you. It's very hard, especially for people like those people who like don't have a lot of people like him, like Tyson Fury. That man's got like almost every disorder in the book. He's doing great now, but he's literally talked about how without the gym, like he can't relax. He's bipolar. He's got anxiety, depression, suicidal initiate like thoughts, and he always takes the day off all the week from working out and boxing, and that is the worst day for him. And he's crazy, and he loves what keeps him sane, and it's insanity to other people, and that brings it to like it's all perspectives. Insanity to me may be sane to you, and like everybody in a mental ward, everything that goes on there, anything good, bad, and the fucking horrific, is very normal and is what should be happening, and they'll look at us like we're crazy. Like what? You're not taking 17 pills. You're not being restricted to a bed. You're not being confined. And all this, yes, this and that. You guys are crazy. So it's all perspective, and the comedic mind is what makes people crazy. Because the main depression, the typical one that you look at, and it's all like, oh, woe is me. And it's a general statement. So people who get offended by this, I don't care. But it's a general, basically they're just like, woe is me, and you can see it how they carry themselves, and they look for sympathy, and they do what is by the book, what you're supposed to look like, and people will notice, and then you're able to get help and all that other stuff, all the extra stuff. But then you have people like me, people like Tyson Fury, people like Robin Williams, all those people who are like who've made a joy, and even all comedians have made a joy, have turned it into something where they said, I'm gonna make sure nobody else feels how I'm feeling every day, and I'm going to make sure with everything I do in my power that my friends, my family, and other people, strangers, basically go to a treasure that they cannot possess, like some Infinity War or an Endgame or Infinity War line from the Red Skull or whatever his name is. And that treasure is pure happiness and enjoyment and loving life. Like I'm very content where my life is and how everything I've done, everything I'm going to do. But I'm definitely a madness because it's a daily thought of mine. And I joke, and the thing is, and people who joke about it, because the reason I joke about it is because the world is so depressing, especially with coronavirus and all school being canceled. If people taking school for granted, personally, I don't care, and that's a discussion for another day. And they're like, they're so easy to fall in line with it, and everything that's depressing, everything that's like ever horrifically bad, has to be talked in like a depressed connotation, and you can't just say anything to make it to lighten the mood. And there's no bright side to it, like the Holocaust, for example. Then people make jokes about it, or they look at it in a comedic life, like I do, and it's messed up, yes. In reality, it's a very serious thing, but that's why you should do it. That's why you should make fun. It's not make fun of it. You should take it jokingly in a way, because at the end of the day, people don't really care anymore. They'll care about something for a little bit, and then they'll move on. They move on, and it won't really matter to them anymore. And it's no longer a priority in their life to care about it, and it's always going to move on to the next thing. And we all basically have like the attention span of like goldfish or a dog seeing us like 15 squirrels, changing every time with like, if I tap this, you're not focused on that. If I do it randomly again in the video, you notice that now you're going to be looking out for it, and I'll just be talking, and also you see, and you won't focus on anything I'll say. If I do this, I don't know why I have this, I just have it. But no, but definitely the comedic mind one is what people need to watch out for. You definitely check on the people who are like the people who found comedy in a lot of things. If they're not like genuinely happy, you can tell, because it's not in how they dress. It's like with again with like as far as visuals go, on the outside, you look at the typically depressed people, the mopers, the like if you want to even go stereotypically goth, even that's not what that is. You can tell by how they dress, how they walk, how they talk, how they look. But people like me, people who are crazy like that, and people who are like they have the comedic mind, and it's in their eyes. It's like when it's not how they talk, it's how it depends on, you can tell by how long you talk to them that something ain't right. They ain't exactly, you can't tell. Some people it's easier to read and be like, oh, I can tell this man's, he's seen some, or he's been through some. But but you can definitely sense by how you talk to them, or it's in their eyes. You look at them long enough, you can learn a lot in the eyes of a crazy person. You can learn a lot, and a lot of people won't understand what I'm talking about because they don't get it. And these are one of the very few things in the world where like you can empathize, but you won't get it until you've been through it. And what I'm just trying to do, I'm trying to get people to acknowledge the other half, because they just don't know. They see happy people like, oh yeah, we're so happy, and that like it's swept under the rug with the main Big Daddy depression, where it's just like, yeah, like, and I guess you would call it. I don't see it as depression. I just see it as, I don't see it as it lasting long term, but like you see it, I don't self harm. I don't have cuts. All the wounds on my body have been like inflicted by some accident, or I don't even know how they show up. Never self harmed. Never smoked. Never drank. Never did all that stuff. Never did any of that stuff to numb the pain or whatever. But like, for example, I joke around a lot. A big running joke about my friends is I haven't cried over a decade. I haven't cried. I don't show emotion that much. That's a genuine thing. I haven't cried since I was like five to like 8. It's gonna be almost a decade, and nothing helps. I don't I can't. And I feel like it plays a part, but not really. I haven't slept through the night definitely over a decade, because I've always either stayed up really late till like 2 o'clock, then go to sleep, and then still wake up early, or I don't sleep, and I end up what happened one time before, where I didn't sleep for a week. Or you have those people who are like, They sleep, but they always wake up. They always wake up and they can't go back to sleep. And I feel like, and I don't think I really don't, I really truly believe I don't really sleep. I think I just black out because I don't dream at all. And I know it's like if you dream, you have true sleep, you get real rest. No, that at least not for me. I haven't dreamt. I just blink if it's morning, or blink if it's, I look at my clock. When it was once 9:50, it's now 12:48. That's how it is for me. And I decided in my life that people make it so easy to be depressed and to give up that I'm gonna go ahead with all my friends, all my family, all the people I care about, that I'm going to take it upon myself to make sure they're okay by any means necessary, no matter how you treat me. And there are people who take advantage of that. People who take advantage of that and they take for granted people's kindness, and they see it as it can be just taken up. And for me, I've lost the will to be angry at them. I stopped being angry because it's a waste of time. Because being angry at somebody and not telling them what it is like drinking poison and expecting them to get killed. And like, it's just not. Plus, just can't be bothered really. But as far as people like literally, I had a friend. I'm not gonna name her. She won't see this because she's not on social media. We were friends. I started her being her friend this year, and she's alright, girl. She was dealing with depression and all that stuff, and she basically was just like the typical depression person. You can look at them, tell how they walk, how they dress. You can tell looking at them from a considerable mile away. Oh yeah, she's depressed. She's been through some shit, and she wears it like on her face, and she talks about it a lot, and you can tell, you can see it, you can. She's just the obvious. She's not of the comedic mindset. She's of the typical depressing people that are more willing to get help, and or not more willing, or like people are more willing to help them because they see it. And I was basically friends with her a long time. We're friends with her this entire year, even through the corona stuff. Her depression, her anxiety take her a great toll because she can't be with her friends. She's like one of the two people in this entire pandemic thing. So I know it's like you either want to talk to everybody and it's gonna kill you if you're alone, or you're like me and just like you don't care, and you just like I would much rather be left alone. But at the same time, like personally, I want to talk to people, I want to hang with people, but I don't see it as an issue really to be left alone because I'm alone all the time. Like alone, I am not lonely because I've been alone for so long. Mentally, it had nothing to do with like me being like just me growing up a bit quicker than usually. But like as far as that goes, it's the same old to me. It's just another day. This whole thing, online school, it's just another day. Spring break is about to come up next week, and people don't even know that. It's just another day to me. And I feel like that. But anyways, back to her. She basically got her first issue with her boyfriend, and I helped her out with that. That was like 9% of the conversation because she sees her boyfriend like Jesus Christ reincarnated. And I'm friends with him, so I can say this. He's not. He knows he's not. He says it himself. He doesn't understand why, because he never did anything. But against people who are damaged, truly damaged, they're just like, you see someone like that, they're gonna latch on when you're surrounded by awfulness. Which I mean, you have to. She's proper anxiety. Like she's ripped out. I've seen pictures of her ripping out her skin at school. She's had anxiety attacks over a bunch of stuff, and she kept messing up in her relationship. And then I was on call with her boyfriend, or one of my friends. I was friends with him before I was friends with her. And basically, he read out a text that basically saying that she was never friends with me, and that I was basically an emotional sponge for her, and I was just being used up. And now she doesn't really talk to me because I guess I've been used up. And it sucks. It sucks because I'm not. There was no anger. It was like initial like frustration at that, but there was never pure anger. I was disappointed more than anything at her because I could see her that she would do some shady, selfish shit like that, but I held her to a higher standard. If you get what my drift, I held her to a better pedestal, and I didn't think she would betray me like that, and she did, and I was just like, all right, well, this ain't the first time it's happened. I've been betrayed by a lot of people, and it's not that isn't sour grapes, and that isn't like a oh woe is me, the world's out there getting me. It's not. I have swim. There's people out there that I'm friends with. If you see this, I love you, and that isn't me. That isn't like the typical oh I love you because you don't know. I genuinely like anybody who's walked in my life and has treated me well, and I'm friends to this day. And I've had clear conversation. I say I love you to you. That means to the fullest extent. Usually a lot of people are like, other girls are like, yo, I love you. When it comes down to it, they ain't gonna go through it that way, that much. When I'll go to the extreme to help people, and that goes with a comedic mindset. I will go willing any way, shape, or form, and for nothing in return, to help people, and that's what I try to do. I try to do that. I'm not the best at it. I'm not an expert. I've failed plenty of times. I'm probably failing as we speak, but failure is a path forward, and I'm gonna try to help all people. And I hope this is a way of helping people, knowing that obviously people hear you're not alone, all that type of shit, and though it falls under a general tree, no story is really the same, in my opinion. There could be like similar, but never the exact same, and in reality, that's the big difference. So, all my comedic minds out there, I got one in mind with my boys. I don't know if he probably won't even see this, but if he does, just know, man, we gonna go through it, but we gonna get through it. And to all my friends out there who dealing with it and need someone to talk to, this right here, we got all these. This phone, empty, dry, get no text from nobody. There's nobody on this phone, just notifications. Hit your boy up. It don't mean nothing. You ain't gonna bother me. It don't matter if it's 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, 5:30, or 12:43. It don't matter. This phone and I am open 24/7, 365, free of charge. How many people are you gonna actually get that from? But all jokes aside, uh, yeah, that's really it. Just the two sides. I feel like you just had to get that off, and just have people open their eyes to it, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, mental health," and this is, of course, this probably gonna send the fucking suicide rate through the roof when it already is, because everybody's just like they're more now, like they're literally like they're stuck in the house and there's nothing going on in the world. The world is on pause for a little bit. A lot of people are gonna be like, you know what, this is my chance. This is my chance, and I get it. And now a day goes by to where like the thought, because like if you talk about all the crazy people who like this is gonna affect, like Tyson Fury, he literally had to install the gym. He's like, without the gym, I am nothing. And he in like that's his, and that's in boxing and fighting and Conor McGregor too. It's like for them, what they do in life, what they've done, they chose to do in their path of way through life. That's their way of therapeutically being the crazy person they are. Because they said if they can't do that, you'll see if you look it up in the past, they'll do something crazy, which is other crazy stuff, which is illegal. So this is their legal way of being the crazy person, and what they've done, they need as much as what they are doing needs them. And they play hand in hand. I'm still looking for whatever that may be. I think it's just probably just going to be helping people, and even if I die Hopefully, it probably won't even be suicide, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't even take it serious myself for me, but it's a very normal thought. It's a nightly and daily occurrence. So that's like I like I'll laugh myself to tears, thinking about the possibilities of like diving headfirst through my bedroom window, and I don't need a therapist because my therapist is a I don't want to go to her. She's a tool, but I digress. She's lovely lady, but when it comes to all that stuff, it's just she's been manipulated so easily, and it's just no. But I know my family is probably my family's probably failed. Not all of them, but a lot of them have failed me, and that's fine because I need it. I don't want to take this. Nobody take this as a sour sob story. If you feel myself feel better, or somebody, this is genuinely just some things that are happening in my life that may be happening in your life, anybody else that knows you, or excuse me, and you want something to at least be like, okay, yeah, it's gonna take some time. This ain't gonna be something that can be cured at the end of the day. Be like, everything's going great. And like, man, you're right. And all that stuff. Like, no, it's not. This is gonna take time. It's gonna be brutal. You're gonna want to quit. You're gonna want to quit. And it's okay, because that's all part of the process. Part of the process of getting better. And you have to be bad to be good. You have to feel what it's like to feel shitty, to appreciate all the good things that are happening for you and everything that is going on in your world, whatever that may be. And there's always a good side to everything. Let your problem and there's going to be problems that are lesser than mine that people take it serious, and there's going to be problems that are 100% worse than mine and that aren't talked about. And all in all, we're all going to get through it. In some way, shape, or form, we're going to be able to get through it. And however your way of getting through it, that's your business. The only thing, in reality, no matter what I say, whatever people say, whatever your friends or family say, the only people that you're going to have to deal with for really, truly, is you, the devil, Jesus, and God. If you even believe in that. If not, it's just you. So it's not. No matter what people say, it's a choice that you make, or because everybody can care. But if you want to be better, be like, all right, I want to be better. It's gonna suck for you. It's like it would suck. It's gonna suck. That's what it is. But it's gonna make you better. And it makes you stronger. And there's gonna be hard times are gonna create for better good times. And you will look back and realize that all the stuff, like, why did it have to happen to me, and all that stuff. I used to look back on it like, why, I was bullied 3rd grade through 8th grade with like horrific racial anything you could find. They did, and I realized I had to get to that. I had to get there now and meet those people there so I could be where I am now. And it took me snapping. It took me and the crazy in me did snap at 8th grade, and now I cuss like a goddamn sailor. And then people have learned like that it just took, I guess, it's a matter of timing. Because the funny thing is that there was a time I was like smaller. I wasn't like, I was big, then I became small. I was a little smaller, and then I moved to a new area, and they just were like racially, and I was just like trying to ignore it all and be like, no, be me. I'm still gonna get my grades up, and at the end of the day, you guys are gonna all be working for me. That was my mindset. And then the older I got, I was just like, I don't know. I don't like waiting. I don't like the fact that I'm waiting for these kids to shut up. And there was like there's an easy paths I knew that were just ignorant, like fighting them, slapping them, or whatever, just like go ripping them a new one at the time. And I could very easily done it, but I was just like, you know what? No. At the time, I was just like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna waste that energy. I'm not gonna, because I know in the long run. And then 8th grade, summer into 8th grade, I remember I grew like 6 inches, gained 30 pounds. I was like 5. I was like one of the tallest guys in the grade, and then they were still messing with me, and then about halfway through the year, something in me definitely snapped subconsciously, and then I just started cussing out and everybody that crossed me the wrong way, and I snapped on everyone, I got in a hell of a lot of trouble for it, and it felt good. It felt good, and that's the craziness that stuck with me to this day. I'll never get angry, but I can very easily, if you want to get hostile, I can, I've never gotten into a fight. It don't gotta always be physical. So when it comes to verbal, I can probably match with the best of them, and it would mean nothing to me. And I've said some jacked up things. And do I regret them? No, because I'm crazy, and I don't regret it. I don't take it. Anything I've said, I don't take it back, because it's not out of anger. It's the truth. Is what I think. If you look like a fucking cow and you're saying stuff, I'm gonna call you an effing cow to your face. It don't got nothing to do with if you're in my face or not. Those fake people, it's dumb personally, but that's part of, like, again, all that ties back to mental health. And then, like, had that been anybody else, had that been some kid who didn't have the that wasn't able to have the mental fortitude that I could have had, that could have been school. My snapping and cursing could have been a school shooting, or could have been a fight that could have killed somebody. Because, like, again, another method to my madness is that I've never been in a fight, but a lot of people made me upset over the years. And and it's very noble to envision, like, hitting someone, but I've envisioned true, and if very vision murder, it's like, I hope they get hit by a car and you drive, like, that's normal. But when you go and you see, and you look at them and they're talking crazy, and act like they want to do something, and then you're able to envision something that's fully capable of something, and knowing that no one else around you would be able to stop you. It's a very disturbing thought in theory when you look back at it, but if it's your normal, it doesn't really mean anything to you. Like, for me, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I remember I got in an argument with this dude, and he wanted to fight me on the basketball court, and on the basketball court in the hallway, and I remember just thinking, and my locker was open at the time. I was like, it's so very easy to kick him right in the balls, slam his head in that locker, and punt, and just continue to slam it. And there's no teachers around to get him to help him in time without me seriously damaging him and punting his head into the lockers in the wall repeatedly, until and me laughing, doing all of it, because I would laugh, and I would hope at the very least you'd end up in the hospital, if not in the body bag. And I believe I was thinking nothing of it. I believe it's very normal for me, at least. And there's gonna be other people who are like, that's not normal, you okay? Like, the whole I'm fine thing, and it's not. And usually it starts out with girls, and, like, if they say I'm fine, they're not. It's true. The time you girl here's just like, they get mad, and they're just like, I'm fine, and I'm like, you're not, because and a lot of them can fool other people. They just be like, okay, I guess she says she's fine. And if you want to be a prick, like how I'll be, they'll be like, oh, you said you was fine, all right. But in reality, I can look at them long enough. You can give me 5 seconds, I'll be like, all right, you fine, or okay, you're not. Or I can tell by just how they talk, and like, there's a lot of things that you study humans long enough, you've watched long enough, you sit back and you watch and you listen, you'll learn a lot of things from people, and you'll learn who is crazy, who isn't, and like how are you gonna handle situations, and in general, just observing, because you those people who are like observers and also able to mix it with, like, find the courage to talk and say something. You can tell, you can command a room. You know how to psychologically get into the mind of people. I've said this previously, like every single episode I've said probably. If you control the mind, you can control anything, because you control people's minds, and if you know how the mind works, that is basically the mind control. You are a superhero. It's just that little telepathy in like sci-fi movie bullshit. It's like you can quite literally control people and have them do whatever the hell you want. And there's different methods to it, and I know all the methods, and that's what makes it crazy. It's so simple it's so simple, and the execution is so simple, and people, and like you'll never realize people like me, people like Tyson Fury, people like Robert Williams, people like who are comedians, who are like the big happy with the big smile on the face, people who like laugh all the time, and all that's real. It's not fake. All that stuff is real, but it doesn't last. I remember all the time. Every time I got off that bus, I didn't. I feel like there was a time where I didn't want to go home. I just wanted to stay, and I didn't want to go to school. So I'm stuck. I'm like, I'll go for the school in the good parts. Then I'll like stay on the bus. And in my mind, I want to do that. And of course, I was just like, obviously, no, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna do whatever. And I stay, and what I do on my day-to-day basis. I'm always alone. I purposely isolate myself because I like to be alone, and I just left. And a lot of people get left alone. And let that been, again, like I said, let that have been anybody else. Some girl who doesn't have or some dude who doesn't have the mental fortitude that I had or still have, and they had access to a gun. It's so simple for them to be like laughing in your face, ha 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 ha, boom, and that's it. And then people are surprised and shocked when they look back and like, she was what? I'm like, you ain't care that much. Y'all looked at the jokes and y'all stopped listening. All the laughs, all that stuff. You stopped listening. All those, and you'll know, because when those people get serious, they get serious, and there's no jokes. There's no ha ha he he. All that stuff is gone. And it's like another different person. Like that's like all, but like the laughing and all that stuff, all the jokes, all that stuff. That's the real me. That's 100%. I'm not gonna fake nothing for nobody. I ain't gonna fake that. It's funny. I'm gonna laugh about it. I'm gonna make fun of it. I'm gonna laugh about a lot of things. A lot of things are funny and they're able to be laughed at. But then this is also that I'm not gonna show to people because I don't need to wait. Because personally, why do I need to waste your time? Like I had to conflict myself going on here and doing this. Then I realized it's not about me. It's about everybody else. Again, that whole mindset of me. I'm gonna put everybody else before me. And I need to work on that. I need to work on being more selfish, because being selfish is healthy, like whether or not. Usually, selfish is like a bad connotation, but it's definitely a good thing to be, because you prioritize yourself, and we're naturally selfish, and people try not to be that way. But sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's very healthy to be like, you know what? At the end of the day, you guys are great, and your stuff matters to me. But you ain't gonna be dying with me, bro. You ain't me. So I gotta take care of me first. I gotta take care of me first, and that's what I'm still learning. And I'm only 15. I'm hopefully gonna live a long and prosperous life. I'm probably not gonna get a gun and shoot myself or dive headfirst off a bridge or out a window. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. I don't know. And all those people out there, if you need anything to talk to, hit your boy up, man. We're all here. We're dealing with this pandemic. We're all going through this journey called life, although all taking different pathways. We're dealing with the same stuff, just in a different way. In some way, shape, or form, we're dealing with the same stuff in just different forms, different ways. And at the end of the day, we all gonna be alright. And that's just how it's gonna be. It don't matter how you gotta put it. No matter what your method is. Your method could be, if it is therapeutic for you, just to sit down and mope around and be like, you know what? I don't want to do nothing today. More power to you, kid. You do that. You go ahead and do that. But at some point, that's not going to be enough. and you gotta make some difficult choices, and some of them or a lot of them are going to be a lot that you don't like. And it's not a matter of what you want; it's a matter of what do you need to be better for you, not for your friends, not for your family, not for your dog, not for the world, even to like celebrities, like all that. It's not for their fans, not for the money, not for the fame, all that stuff. When it comes down to it, you're human. To be a better human, to be a better you need to make the necessary steps to take care of yourself. And whatever that is, that's up to you. Can't nobody tell you how to take care of you truly other than you. Ain't nobody. Because even if you're a kid and your parents tell you that, I'm like, dude, you're looking from the outside in. Simple fact. They could know you really well. They could know your tendencies, but they at the end of the day, they ain't with you 24/7. They ain't gonna see the person you're gonna become. They don't see they don't see your thoughts. They can't see your thoughts. They can take really good guesses and they can have like pretty much, oh yeah, he'll do this. They don't know. They think they know and they want to be certain that they know, but they don't. And that's the difference. Only you know. And when it comes down to it, nobody can make decisions for you. It's so much easier for someone else to make the decision for you. Be like, oh, okay, I know that if I mess up, if they mess up, I have someone to blame, and it's not on me. But in reality, if you don't want to take steps forward, that's on you, and that's your fault. And if you succeed, it's your fault. And to those who have tried and failed, I commend them too, because they tried. And failure is a necessary part of the path of success. And if you and to those who keep failing in anything, keep failing, because what that means is that you're not quitting. If you keep failing, that means you're still trying. And as long as you keep trying, there's always a chance of success in anything. And people are like, and it comes down, and even like stuff like dreams. And people are like, it's not possible. It's not possible for me to fly and or something in general, like just me, no plane. I'm like, hey, did you think it? If you think it, it's conceivable. If it's conceivable, it's believable. Man, that's a good quote. I'm gonna write that down later. But no. But yeah, no. If it's conceivable, it's achievable, and it's believable. You just gotta believe it first. But thank you all for joining me today for the 4th episode of the Smorgasbord Podcast. This was just a little bit rant. It's just me today. For all the people out there who are dealing with some stuff, who have the comedic mindset like me, people who are also the mainstream depressed. Again, you want to talk to me in general, not even about the podcast or anything, you can hit me up at any of my information left down that I probably will write down later. And yeah, stay safe. Love you all, and we'll see you next time.